Hey, Captain Chris Myers, Central Florida Sight Fishing Charters. Thanks for tuning in today. Please subscribe to my channel. There's a little link right down here at the bottom. Click on that. You'll get notified every time I put out a new video. If you're looking for more informational fishing videos, I have several playlists on my channel for you to check out. So I'm going to talk about a reel that I haven't mentioned before, and that is a spin casting or closed-faced reel. I'm going to show you the features on this thing, how to use it. This is the reel that I started off using when I was a kid. It's a Zebco 202. Been around for decades. Super easy to use. Great for kids. Great for people with very little fishing experience. It's kind of hard to mess this up, and it's very simple to use. The line comes out a hole on the top. This is designed for the reel to be on top of the rod, the guides to be pointing up towards the sky when we're turning the handle. So unlike the spinning reel, which goes on the bottom, the spin casting or closed face reel goes on the top. Only two things on this. We have a little button right here. We're going to get to that in a second. And we have this little button that moves side to side, has a minus and a plus. This is our drag. This is what keeps the line breaking when we catch a big fish. Minus is less, plus is more. If I put it on plus, it's going to be harder to pull it off. Minus, easier to pull it off. I keep it somewhere down towards the minus unless I have trying to horse fish out from underneath structure or something, and that's not really what these reels were designed for. So I use this all the time for my 6-year-old granddaughter. She loves it. It's easy to use. Step number one is going to be sure we don't have too much line outside the tip, so reel this up until we only have about 2 feet. If it was all the way reeled up, we can push the button out, let some out, turn the handle. Pushing this button all releases the mechanism that keeps the line from coming out. So I push the button, line can come out. Get about 2 feet of line out. Step number two, proper grip, index finger on the trigger. Step number three is going to be to press this button and hold it all the way in. Hold that button in. If we let it out, the line's going to fall, the lure's going to fall to the ground. This is where kids may need to use two hands. If they have trouble, if they're not strong enough to hold this all the way in one-handed, 6-year-old granddaughter can do it, but maybe a 3 or 4-year-old kid, they could still cast this out. Have them use two thumbs on there, hold two hands. When I get about 3/4 of the way through, after I pass halfway, I'm going to let my thumb off. If we're practicing this and it goes way up in the air, you let it off too early. If it lands right here in the water, they let off their thumb too late. It's going to take a little bit till they get it just right. When I get 3/4 of the way through, thumb off. Next step, turn the handle and you'll see this button pop back out and it'll click. Now I'm retrieving my line. Rod on top. Have your finger on the trigger to retrieve, or they can hold it with their middle finger on there if that's a little more comfortable. That keeps the rod from getting jerked out of their hand. When they're casting, make sure they have this hand on here, and they do not want to cast and end up with their other hand on the reel. Always cast with your dominant hand. If you should have a tangle, the way you fix that on these reels is you unscrew the top. Comes apart, the line is wound around here, then it goes over this little button right there. If it gets tangled up, you can take this apart, fix it, you screw it back on. That's all there is to it. It's a pretty simple reel, not designed for real heavy duty use. It's not designed for really large fish, most of them, although they do make different size reels, spin cast reels. But if you're looking for a budget, all-in-one thing, great to get started fishing. Great for kids to fish with, especially. Check out your spin casting or closed face reels.